10 things I gave up with Japanese minimalism and don't regret. What if we told you that giving up just 10 things could completely transform your life, reduce your stress by 40%, and make you happier than you've been in years? Stay with us because what we discovered about Japanese minimalism will shock you. Hey everyone! Today we're diving into something that completely changed our perspective on living well. We're talking about Japanese minimalism and the 10 specific things we decided to let go of that made all the difference. Now, before you think this is just another decluttering video, stick around because we're sharing the real, honest truth about what happened when we embraced this ancient Japanese philosophy. You know, when we first heard about Japanese minimalism, we thought it was just about having fewer things, but it's so much deeper than that. It's about creating space for what truly matters and finding peace in simplicity. The Japanese have this beautiful concept called ma, which refers to the power of empty space. And once we understood this, everything clicked. So let's jump right into the first thing we gave up, and trust us, this one might surprise you. Number 1, the need to fill every corner. The very first thing we had to let go of was our obsession with filling up every single space in our home. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and think, oh, this corner looks empty, we need something there. Yeah, we completely abandoned that mindset. In traditional Western decorating, we're taught that empty spaces are somehow incomplete or unfinished. But Japanese minimalism taught us the opposite. There's incredible beauty and power in emptiness. When we stopped trying to fill every corner with furniture, decorations, or storage solutions, something magical happened. Our rooms started to breathe. We could actually feel the calm energy flowing through our spaces. That corner that used to have a random plant stand or extra chair, now it's just beautifully empty. And it creates this sense of openness that makes our entire home feel bigger and more peaceful. The science backs this up too. Studies show that cluttered environments actually increase cortisol levels, our stress hormone. When we gave up the need to fill every space, we literally created a more relaxing environment for our brains to process and unwind. Number 2, excessive decoration and ornaments. Next up, we said goodbye to what we now call decoration overload. We used to have knickknacks everywhere. Little figurines on shelves, multiple picture frames on every surface, seasonal decorations that we'd rotate throughout the year. Our coffee table alone probably had 6 different decorative items on it at any given time. Japanese minimalism introduced us to the concept of choosing just 1 or 2 meaningful pieces, instead of many. We learned that when everything is special, nothing really stands out. So we went through our entire home and kept only the decorations that had deep personal meaning or brought us genuine joy when we looked at them. The result was incredible. That one beautiful vase we kept now actually gets noticed and appreciated. The family photo we chose to display has more impact because it's not competing with 10 other frames for attention. Our home went from feeling like a gift shop to feeling like a serene sanctuary. What really surprised us was how much easier cleaning became. No more dusting around countless little objects or moving things to wipe down surfaces. Cleaning time dropped by at least half, giving us more time for activities we actually enjoy. Number 3, the just-in-case mentality. This one was tough to overcome because it felt so practical at first. We're talking about that voice in your head that says, but what if I need this someday? We used to keep so many things just in case we might use them eventually. Extra cables, old magazines, clothes that might come back in style, kitchen gadgets we used once. Japanese minimalism taught us about living in the present moment and trusting that we can handle future needs when they actually arise. The reality is that most of those just-in-case items never get used, and they're just taking up physical and mental space in our lives. When we finally let go of this mentality, we discovered something liberating. We realized that keeping things just in case was actually a form of anxiety. We were holding on to objects because we didn't trust our ability to solve problems or find solutions in the future. Now, if we haven't used something in over a year and can't identify a specific, realistic scenario where we'll need it soon, it goes. And you know what?
In the rare cases where we needed to replace something we donated, the temporary inconvenience was so worth the daily peace of living in uncluttered spaces. Number 4, multiple versions of the same thing. We used to think having options was always better. 3 different coffee makers for different moods, 5 sets of sheets for one bed, 10 different black pens scattered throughout the house. If one was good, surely 3 or 5 was better, right? Wrong. Japanese minimalism showed us the beauty of having one really good version of something instead of multiple mediocre versions. We started applying the one in, one out rule. But even more importantly, we began choosing quality over quantity in everything we kept. This shift changed our relationship with our possessions completely. Instead of having drawers full of okay kitchen knives, we invested in one excellent knife that we actually enjoy using. Instead of 3 different vacuum cleaners for different purposes, we researched and found one high-quality vacuum that handles everything we need. The mental clarity this brought was unexpected. Decision fatigue is real, and when you're constantly choosing between multiple versions of the same item, your brain gets tired. Now, when we need something, we know exactly where it is and we know it works well. No more digging through drawers of tangled phone chargers or standing in front of closets full of clothes we never wear. Number 5, the need to keep up with trends. Social media makes it so tempting to constantly update our homes and wardrobes to match whatever's trending. We used to rearrange furniture every few months, buy new throw pillows for every season, and replace perfectly good items just because they weren't the current style anymore. Embracing Japanese minimalism meant giving up this exhausting cycle of constant change. Instead, we focused on choosing timeless, high-quality pieces that we genuinely love, regardless of whether they're on trend or not. This was surprisingly freeing. We stopped scrolling through home decor accounts feeling like our space wasn't good enough. We stopped that nagging feeling that we needed to update something just because everyone else was. Our home became truly ours, reflecting our actual preferences rather than whatever was popular that month. Our home might not look like it belongs in a magazine, but it feels authentically ours, and that's so much better.
Number 6, emotional shopping and impulse purchases. We had to get honest about our shopping habits. So much of what we brought into our homes wasn't purchased because we needed it, but because we were feeling stressed, bored, or trying to fill some emotional void. A bad day at work would lead to ordering something online. A fun afternoon would turn into browsing stores and buying things we didn't really need. Japanese minimalism encouraged us to pause and ask ourselves why we wanted to buy something. Were we actually going to use it regularly? Did it serve a specific purpose? Or were we just shopping to feel better about something else in our lives? This shift in mindset was probably the most challenging, but also the most rewarding change we made. We started finding other ways to deal with emotions that didn't involve bringing more stuff into our home. Instead of shopping when we felt stressed, we'd go for a walk or call a friend. Instead of browsing online when we were bored, we'd read a book or work on a hobby. The amount of money we saved was shocking, but more than that, we stopped feeling guilty about purchases we regretted or frustrated by drawers full of things we never used. Every item in our home now has intention behind it, and that feels really good. Number 7, the perfect home fantasy. We used to have this image in our minds of what our perfect home should look like. Maybe it came from magazines, Pinterest, or visiting friends' houses. We were constantly working toward this ideal that honestly wasn't even realistic for our actual lifestyle. Japanese minimalism taught us to focus on how our space makes us feel rather than how it looks to others. We stopped trying to create magazine-worthy rooms and started creating spaces that supported our daily activities and brought us peace. This meant being honest about how we actually live. We don't entertain large groups often, so we didn't need a formal dining room setup. We love reading before bed, so we made sure our bedroom had great lighting and a comfortable chair. We work from home, so we prioritized a functional office space over a fancy guest room that rarely gets used. When we let go of the perfect home fantasy, our space became so much more livable and enjoyable. We weren't constantly stressed about maintaining some unrealistic standard. Instead, our home evolved to truly serve our needs and reflect who we are as people. Number 8, guilt about getting rid of gifts.
This was emotionally difficult, but we had to give up the guilt we felt about letting go of gifts we didn't actually use or enjoy. We had boxes of items given to us over the years that we kept purely because someone had given them to us, even though they didn't fit our style or serve any purpose in our daily lives. Japanese minimalism helped us understand that the gift was the thought and love behind it, not the physical object itself. The person who gave us that decorative bowl wanted us to be happy, not to feel obligated to keep something that cluttered our space. We learned to honor the sentiment while being practical about the objects. Some gifts we kept because we genuinely loved them. Others we donated, knowing that someone else would appreciate and use them more than we were. We even started having conversations with family members about giving experiences instead of physical gifts. The relief we felt was immediate. No more guilty feelings every time we saw that vase we never used or that sweater that wasn't our style. Our space was filled only with things that brought us joy or served a real purpose, and that included gifts that we actually treasured. Number 9, the more storage, more space mindset. We used to think that if we just had better storage solutions, we could keep everything organized and accessible. We bought bins, baskets, drawer organizers, and closet systems, thinking that the problem was just finding better ways to contain all our stuff. Japanese minimalism flipped this thinking completely. Instead of finding better ways to store things we didn't really need, we focused on having fewer things that we actually used and enjoyed. It turns out that the best storage solution is often not needing to store something at all. This was a game changer for us. Instead of spending money on organization products, we spent time deciding what we actually needed to keep. Our closets went from being packed with organized clutter to having fewer items with plenty of breathing room. Our kitchen drawers went from being perfectly organized collections of gadgets to simple spaces with just the tools we regularly use. The time we save now is incredible. We don't spend weekends reorganizing storage systems or shopping for better containers. Everything we own has a clear, simple place, and putting things away takes minutes instead of hours. The 10th thing, the fear of empty space in our schedules. The final thing we gave up wasn't physical at all, but it might have been the most important. We stopped being afraid of having empty time in our schedules. We used to fill every moment with activities, appointments, and commitments, thinking that busy meant productive and valuable. Japanese minimalism extends beyond physical possessions to how we use our time. We learned to value in our schedules too, creating intentional empty spaces where we could breathe, think, and just be present in the moment. This meant saying no to social commitments that felt obligatory rather than enjoyable. It meant not scheduling activities just to fill time. It meant being comfortable with quiet evenings at home or weekend mornings with no agenda. The mental health benefits have been amazing. We feel less anxious, more creative, and more connected to ourselves and each other. When we do choose to fill our time with activities, they're things we genuinely want to do, rather than things we felt we should do. Looking back at this journey, we can honestly say that giving up these 10 things has made our lives richer, not poorer. We have more time, more money, more peace, and more joy in our daily experiences. Our home is a sanctuary rather than a source of stress, and our schedules support our well-being rather than exhausting us. Japanese minimalism isn't about living with nothing. It's about being intentional with everything. When you remove what doesn't serve you, what remains becomes more meaningful, more beautiful, and more aligned with who you really are. If you're thinking about trying this approach, start small. Pick one area or one mindset from our list and experiment with letting go. We think you'll be surprised by how good it feels to create space for what truly matters in your life. What would you be willing to give up to create more peace and joy in your daily life? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if this video helped you think differently about minimalism and living well.